Welcome to the Help Her Be Brave podcast show, where you get great ideas on how you can help save lives. I'm Amy Ford with Embrace Grace.
And I'm Jessica Russo with Embrace Grace.
And we love who we're having on today. Heather Lawless, she's like our people. We see each other at a lot of pro-life events because we live very far away from each other, but she's always like who we want to hang out with. Like,
Yes,
hey, where are we
she
going
is our
tonight?
people.
Yeah, she's our people for sure. But we've been close to her for a while because she's been leading Embrace Grace group for a while. But then it's been really cool to see this dream that she's had from a seed of a dream, a tiny little, just maybe I could start my own pregnancy center. And then over just a few years, seeing this dream come alive, like it's all about our obedience. And I know at times she's like, this dream seems too overwhelming, too big. I don't know if I can do this. But that's just the way God is. Yes. Like, he's not going to give us a little dream. He's going to give us a big one, or maybe it's bite-sized pieces to the dream. You know, when Embrace Grace started, we started as a small group at a church. Like, we didn't know God was going to start a national organization out of it, but there was obedience along the way, just one step at a time. And so it's been awesome to see that happen. But she's going to give us great insight on how people can connect to their local pregnancy centers. Yeah. So, Heather, are you on?
Thank you for having me.
Yes. We actually, as we're filming this, I just was with Heather last week in Florida and got to see her. I'm excited. Even though we live super far away, you're in Idaho, at least we have all of these pro-life events and things that we get to hang out and see
connected with.
Yes.
We get our, twice a year fix.
Yeah. Actually, it's probably more like 3 or 4. I don't know. But so what I love about Heather is she's had a dream that she's like, I'm going to start my own pregnancy center. And then she did it. And then now she's got like staff and totally awesome. But then on top of that, she also leads Embrace Grace groups and a group. And so she's able to kind of help on the clinical side, but then also on the nurturing and the spiritual side. She's like covering all the bases. She's girl boss, totally amazing. And so, okay, Heather, I think where we start is, why are you passionate about the pro-life movement? Like, I know that you have a story, so why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
I believe that God had a calling on my life since I was in my mother's womb. And when she got pregnant with me, the doctors and her family all told her to have an abortion because she had kidney transplants, and they had told her that her body couldn't survive a pregnancy. And if it did survive the pregnancy and the baby was viable, that she wouldn't live to see the baby turn 5. And so my mother chose life for me against everyone's advice, her family, the doctors, everybody. And she lived until I was in my 20s, and I have a beautiful life now because my mom was brave and she didn't listen to the no's of the world. And then I myself experienced an unplanned pregnancy when I was in my early 20s, and my daughter is now 16, and I can't imagine my life without her. And so and then my stepdaughter, my husband's daughter, she also had unplanned pregnancy, and she chose life for her babies, and now I have grandbabies. So I feel like our culture is a culture of no. And we say, no, she can't do it because she's too young, or she can't do it because she just started school, or she can't do it because she's poor, or all the no's, all the reasons why these women shouldn't keep their babies and choose life for their babies. And I think that we need to be a culture of yes. And so I believe that I was put on this earth, and I had a calling since I was in my mom's womb to be that voice of yes to these girls.
Yeah, that's so good.
That's good.
So we know that you're in the pregnancy center world and that you used to work at a different pregnancy center, and then you started your own. So, what made you even want to get into that field? Is it because of your story, or did you serve or volunteer at one and then you decided you wanted to work at one? And what exactly is a pregnancy center for anyone that's listening and doesn't know?
Okay, so I'll start with what a pregnancy center is. So a pregnancy center is a place where, well, I actually want to start off with the misconceptions. So I think that pregnancy centers kind of sometimes get a bad rap in our world, and they think that we are just places where women go and we tell them what to do. And pregnancy centers are places where women go and they can be heard. So women come and they can talk about their hopes and dreams, and they can talk about what they want for their lives, and they can talk about the way that they feel about things, and they can really be listened to. So in all my years of doing this, I should say all my years, like I'm like
all my
all of
years.
my
You are a
all
grandma,
my years.
Heather. You are a grandma.
I am a
You're
grandma,
the hottest
yes.
grandma I've ever seen, though. Your big red hair.
Yeah, my big hair. I belong in Texas, I'm sure of it.
I
But
know. I was going to say that earlier.
so I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, and never once have I ever had a woman who was, trying to decide what to do with her unplanned pregnancy ask me what to do. They don't want advice. They want to be listened to. They want to be heard, because the second that a woman finds out she's pregnant, there's voices telling her what to do. And so she doesn't need to know she doesn't need to know what to do. She doesn't need advice. She needs to know who she is and whose she is. So pregnancy centers listen to her and remind her who she is. We remind her that she's loved, that she's valuable, that she's worthy. We remind her that she has support. We remind her that things aren't as bad as they seem. We take she's looking at her pregnancy right here, and it's right in front of her face, and we pull that out so that she can see what's around her, so she can see her support system. Even if she thinks my parents are going to kill me, maybe there's an aunt or an uncle or someone else that can support her. And so pregnancy centers provide free pregnancy tests and ultrasounds and life skills classes, parenting classes. We basically provide any kind of support that she would need to feel supported throughout her pregnancy. And so in my time working at the previous center I was at, I kind of just felt like some of the services that we were offering were lacking a little bit. And so when I opened the Reliance Center, it actually is a 4-part ministry. So I thought, what I want to do is I want to eliminate the need for abortion. I just don't want to, give her options to choose life. I want to eliminate the need for abortion. So if she says, I need to have an abortion because I don't have a place to live, we're going to give her a place to live. If she says, I need to have an abortion because I can't afford my baby, because I can't give them the things that they need, a crib stroller, all the things, we're going to throw her a baby shower. If she says, I can't have this baby because I'm addicted to drugs, we're going to get her into rehab. And the list goes on and on and on of these reasons why these women would choose abortion. And so at Reliance Ministries, we have the pregnancy center, which is medical. So we do pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, and then we also do STD and STI testing, because with that service, we can reach the woman and talk about healthy decisions before she finds out she's pregnant. So we can help her, just show her her worth and her value before she finds herself in a crisis pregnancy situation. And hopefully, if she finds out her worth and her value, she won't make as destructive decisions with her relationship. So I know in my past, I made lots of destructive decisions, toxic relationships, because I lost sight of who I was and how much God loved me and how valuable I was. And so we don't want these women to make these same decisions. So we offer STD tests for men and for women, because with the men, they need to know how much they're loved also, because men play a vital role in the choice that women make to choose life. So they look to their partner for advice, and lots of guys just say, well, whatever she wants, that's fine. And what we say to them is, you have to be educated, and you have to let her know how you feel. And we have to let them know that the world tells them that they kind of need to be big, strong men. And we tell them that they need to be men of strength. And there's a big, big difference. And so the STD test that we offer to men gives us a chance to really speak into their lives and to talk to them about their relationships as well. And then we are going to have a mobile medical unit so that we can take all of our services, pregnancy tests, counseling services, STD services, out to the smaller communities around us and reach those women just like Jesus, because we know that Jesus went to the people He didn't wait for them to come to him, so we're going to go to them. We're going to have Reliance House, which will be a house where women can live when they find out that they're pregnant until their babies are 6 months old. And then we'll also have housing for women who already have children, because there needs to be a safe place for them to feel at home. And then we have Reliance Men, our men's program. And then we're going to have Braveheart Coffee, a coffee shop where women can work and learn job skills.
You're going to be very
while
busy. That's a lot of amazing things. I love big, giant dreams, because God, he just needs our obedience. And I love that. That's so awesome. And I know that with Tony Evans, I say this quote a lot because it always stuck with me. But he says that the pregnancy centers are the first response team and the church is the hospital. And that's such a powerful statement. Like, really, the pregnancy centers and the churches really coming together and linking arms to be the hands and feet of Jesus to women that are experiencing an unplanned pregnancy is so powerful, in that we can do more together, and not being silos of trying to do it all. Because the pregnancy centers, you guys are busy. You have so much going on. You are right there in her time of crisis, needing someone to believe in them, telling her that she can do it. It makes all the difference in the world.
Right. And I love how you said we're giving them a place to be heard. Like, how valuable that is in that moment, of an unplanned pregnancy, when all that fear creeps in and there's all these voices in your head and they're screaming at you, and a safe place where they can just express all these things, because even though fear is a liar, what they're feeling is real. Mm-hmm. And they need a safe place to process that. And then you can help guide them through that season and walk with them. And you guys are there even after that unplanned season.
Right.
That's so good.
Yeah, I feel like there's the world is screaming at them, and what we say is that we have to speak softly, but we have to speak louder. And so our voice has to be the compassionate, kind, loving voice, but it has to be louder than the other voices. That it can't be loud in a way that's overpowering. And what I like to say is that Jesus was scandalous, but he was also a gentleman. Mm-hmm. So if we're going to live like Jesus, we have to be scandalous, but we have to do it in a gentle way. We have to love audaciously and boldly, but we have to do it in a gentle way.
So good. I love that. So, okay, we talked a little bit about what is a pregnancy center and all the amazing things that you guys are doing. So if someone's listening right now and their hearts may be drawn to wanting to find a local pregnancy center, which, do you know how many there are around the nation? I feel like it's over 2,000.
There are actually more pregnancy centers in the United States than there are abortion facilities.
Okay, yeah, so
that's amazing.
And you can go to heartbeatinternational.com or carenet.com, and there is a list of all the pregnancy centers in the country.
Yeah, you could just put in your zip code and find one close to you. So, because chances are there probably is one close to you.
Yeah.
And so what are kind of I know every pregnancy center is unique, but the consistent, most likely a pregnancy center would love to have volunteers that do what things or give what things.
Hey guys, it's Jessica taking a quick break. Are you looking for a way to make an impact on the lives of single and pregnant women? Start a support group at your local church. Embrace Grace wants to equip churches to provide these brave women with a place of belonging through support groups. Your church can walk alongside these brave women to provide them with emotional, spiritual, and physical support. To learn more about how our curriculum works or how to start a group, visit www.embracegrace.com.
Yeah, so the pregnancy centers operate in two ways. We rely on people in two ways. The first way is that we rely on volunteers. So the volunteers could do anything from the front desk, like a receptionist, answer phones, enter data, or be a teacher. So in the classroom with life skills and parenting classes. And if you have life experience, if you are a mom and you have toddlers, or you're married and you have been through a couple years of marriage, You could help teach a relationship class. If you have toddlers, you could help teach a parenting class. And most of the classes are done. We have videos, and then there's worksheets. And so you could facilitate a class. If you love to cook, you could teach a cooking class. If you're really good with money, you could teach a budgeting class. So we need teachers. We need people who are willing to be advocates for the women. So when we go into that counseling room and be that soft place that can just listen to the girl, tell you her circumstance and have you listen and explain all her options and listen to her as she chooses, makes her choice. And so those advocates are really the people that have the heart for the women, not a judgmental spirit, but just a spirit of compassion and hope. And there's also post-abortion healing. So we believe that women who have been through an abortion experience, they need that healing, because whether you regret your abortion or not, it's still a traumatic experience for your body and for your brain and for your heart. And so we believe that anytime you have any kind of procedure done, there has to be some kind of therapy or healing. If you have knee surgery, you have to go through physical therapy before you can walk on your knee again. And so anytime you have a procedure, we believe that you have to have some kind of therapy and healing. And so post-abortion healing, if you've been through an abortion and you've been through healing, you can take other people through that healing. And there's lots of curriculums that we use. I know that I think you guys partner with Forgiven and Set Free. Is that right? Or Surrendering the Secret. But
They're
there's lots
both
of
all
different
good.
post-abortion healing is incredible. We also need people that can come in and do cleaning services. We need nurses who can facilitate sonograms and do STD testing.
What about your shop? Your organizing most pregnancies.
Your boutique.
Yeah, your little boutique of gently used items that I know going washing them.
Yeah, if you love to do laundry, you can take home laundry and wash and iron the items that
laundry.
go.
I'm just kidding.
Do you love laundry?
No, I don't. I was being sarcastic, but I do know there are people that do love.
I would love a volunteer for that.
I just want someone to volunteer to come to my house.
We need to help Jessica be brave. We need a volunteer.
Yes.
There's women that will take home these baby clothes, these little, toddler dresses, and wash them and iron them and make them look beautiful. Because we believe that in our boutique, they come and they earn points to shop in our store. And so we want them to feel like they're shopping at Nordstrom. We don't want them to feel like they're shopping at the
and garbage bags. Yeah.
Yeah, that they deserve these beautiful things as well. So laundry. Basically, if you have a skill set, we can use it. And so that's where volunteering comes in.
If you have a body and you can breathe,
yes,
we can get your booty to the pregnancy center.
And we also need people that are willing to come alongside us with their, we say give your time, talents, or treasures, and people who can help us financially, because pregnancy centers, we survive off of our community support. Most of us don't receive any government funding because and most of us operate debt free. And so if you have, the treasure to be able to donate that way to help us keep our lights on, that's wonderful. But then also the items that we need for our boutique. So baby clothes, anything that is new or like new condition. What I say is that if you would give it to someone as a gift or put it on your own child, we would take it. If not, then we probably don't want it, because I think it's, lots of times we think, well, I'll give them what I don't want anymore. And you'd be surprised, we get trash bags. We get bags full of just, stained things and ripped things.
I'm not surprised.
So
no, they're just cleaning that stuff. But yeah, I get it. If we're going to be the hands and feet of Jesus, let's
represent well.
Yeah.
Allow them to have dignity.
Nice. Right. For sure. The stained stuff, just no. Let's not. Yeah. So quickly, do you have in closing just a story of one of the moms that you have helped through your pregnancy center that really stuck out to you and that you love sharing about?
Yeah, we had a girl come in last year, and she was 14 when she came to us, and she was determined that she had to have an abortion because she loved to rodeo, and she was told that if she chose life for her baby, that she could never rodeo again. And in talking with her, we helped her see that she could still she could still ride horses while she was pregnant. She couldn't, barrel race or jump the horse when she was, 9 months along, but she could definitely still ride horses. And then after she had the baby, the sky was the limit. She could go back to doing everything that she was doing before. And after some contemplation and talking with her family and realizing that she had support that she didn't think that she did, and we took her into ultrasound. And she saw her baby on the screen for the first time, and it was in the ultrasound room that she started to cry, and she said, "Oh my gosh, it's a baby." And we always think, "Oh, well, what did you think was in there?" But they always say that. They always say, "Oh, it's a baby." And so she saw the baby on the screen, and she chose life for her baby, and she now has this beautiful little girl. And just about 3 weeks ago, she did her first barrel race, and that night she put her daughter. She rode a horse with her daughter, and so she said, seeing her daughter be around the horses and holding her baby on that horse was like a full circle, and she knew that God had a plan. And she said, "I can't imagine my life without my daughter now." And so God knows. And when they see the baby on the screen for the first time, and they think, "That's my baby," and there's that immediate connection. And so this girl is now 15, and it's not going to be easy for her, but she's going to finish school, and she knows that she's loved and she's valued. And she, every time she looks into her little girl's face, she knows that she made the right decision. And she told me the other day, she said, "You saved my daughter's life and you saved my life." So that's pretty incredible.
That is incredible. I mean, just hearing those words is, I know being in this movement, we hear that a lot, but like to really think about that one life, it's pretty amazing.
It's powerful.
Yeah, the visual of that. Well, Heather, thank you so much for sharing about pregnancy centers and what you guys are doing through Reliance. And I love even just your bigger dream concept of what pregnancy centers can be and do through all of the extra initiatives that you guys are wanting to launch and build out. Why don't you give us, you already gave Heartbeat and CareNet as far as how to find a pregnancy center near you, but how can people connect to you specifically through Reliance?
Yeah, so they can go to reliancecenter.org, and they can reliancecenter.org or reliancecenter.com, and they can find out more information about us, and they can find out how to become affiliates or get connected with us. And then I'm in Idaho, and so people can email me at heather@reliancecenter.org, or there's always Facebook.
There's always Facebook. I can find everybody there. Okay, well, Heather, thank you so much for being on today. We're cheering you on, and we're so proud of you.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
I love this story so much because she's just this woman, just this girl. And she was working at a pregnancy center. She had this amazing story about how her mom chose life. And then God started stirring, like there's more. Like she could see the vision before it was even a thing. And she trusted God to lead her into this bigger than life dream.
Yeah, and it's awesome to see how she has opened the doors for this organization to start. But I love that it like every pregnancy center really needs community.
Yeah.
Like it's very heavy volunteer ran, totally donor supported. So it takes the whole community to keep this pregnancy center going. And I speak for a lot of pregnancy center benefits all the time. And I always talk about how when I'm leading Embrace Grace groups, we get to see the fruit of what the pregnancy centers do. And the girls are in our classrooms and stuff. And so many times they're like, well, I wouldn't even still be pregnant if it wasn't for the pregnancy center that referred me here to the church. So, and I hope that even any pregnancy center that's listening right now, that you guys know, I know you guys get to hear miracles, but I think there's even some women that walk out the door that you're not really sure whether it made an impact on them. And it does, 100%. You're making an impact. But I love how God designed this pregnancy center model to involve people, and that we all can come around and use our gifts, strengths, talents, resources to help this pregnancy center move forward. I mean, she's talked about teaching classes, diapers, making the boutique. Like, that would be so fun to like make it into like a cute little boutique store.
And some of these centers make them so over the top.
Yeah, they're so extra.
Oh my goodness.
It's so perfect. Like, they have it like color coded by size, pressed. I mean, it literally looks like a store. And they can come, and she didn't really talk about this, but a lot of pregnancy centers have Earn While You Learn programs where you can take a class, and sometimes like a parenting class or something like that. And sometimes even go to an Embrace Grace group. They'll use Embrace Grace as their Earn While You Learn. And once they go to some of these classes, they get bucks, mommy bucks, or they're called different things, but they can use that to use in the store. They can get diapers and cute clothes and all of those things. So there are, if you're not even sure what gifts and strengths you have, that is a safe place that you can go, just say, I'm here, and what can you, even if it's stuffing envelopes for their direct mail campaigns. I mean, there's something that you can do, and just do something and then see what doors God opens up, because there's lots of opportunities at pregnancy centers. Yeah.
I am doing a student mentorship with a Students for Life college student this semester, and she is so excited, and they do a project, and her project is she's really passionate about marketing, putting together templates for social media for pregnancy centers that don't have a social media presence, that maybe don't have any marketing dollars, and like giving this free to centers. Like, everybody's got something to give that these centers could use.
Yeah, and usually it's something that makes you really excited. And just like how she said, somebody out there likes to do laundry. So definitely, if you're like, I'm listening to all these podcast shows and I don't even know where to start, that's a great place to start. Just see what happens. And then maybe as you're serving, God starts highlighting more and more what your passions and strengths are, and what the part that you're doing that makes you feel like you want to come alive because you love serving in this way. And we know that the moms just feel so loved and seen by you giving in that way. So we would love to hear any stories about how you're connecting to your local pregnancy centers and how you're getting involved. And we hope that you love the show, share this YouTube show, subscribe to our channel, and tell all your friends to watch us. Thank you so much for tuning in.